Well, welcome everyone to today's conference on American leadership in advancing the Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. Let me take just a second before I offer my remarks to acknowledge that some of you are coming to us from the West Coast or from the American Gulf Coast. And if you are, please know that our thoughts and prayers are with you as you deal with the fires on the West Coast and the air quality. But also for those of you on the Gulf Coast dealing with Hurricane Sally, this is your third hurricane in about a month. So our thoughts are turning to you as we gather today on issues which include climate and the climate environment. So thank you for joining us even during these difficult times. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the second iteration of our partnership with the United Nations Foundation. Elizabeth Cousins, thank you very much for joining us today. And we are so glad you were able to take the time to be with us this afternoon. Indeed, one of the benefits of hosting this event virtually is that it enables us to open it to a much larger group. So to everyone, especially those tuning in for the first time, you are most welcome. Thank you. Now, as we celebrate this year, the 75th anniversary of the United Nations, a great celebration, we can at the same time celebrate one of the most compelling achievements of the United Nations, the SDGs, and their role, which we quote as saying, it is a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all, unquote. What a great aspiration. And the focus of the SDGs on leaving no one or no community behind is more essential than ever. COVID-19 and its disproportionate impact on the vulnerable frontline workers, especially those from our Black and Brown communities, as well as the sad and tragic killing of George Floyd and the attention it has brought to systematic racism and continued injustices in our country, these all demonstrate just how important the SDGs are to the United States. For found within the SDGs are solutions to many of the underlying problems embedded in our society today, from income inequality to disparities in education, access to technology, healthcare, and more. The SDGs offer a way forward, one that helps the many and not the few. What's more, these SDGs are rooted in our shared and cherished values, American values, that have seen us through some of the toughest moments in our nation's history. These values are at the heart of true American leadership, and that's leadership that's alive and well throughout all the sectors of our society today, even as it is largely absent from the US government at the moment. Indeed, leadership from cities and businesses, philanthropy, universities, and our youth, all are strong sources of American leadership and will be showcased later in this program. Our innovation, leadership, and commitment to demonstrate just how our values are actively reflected in and manifested in the SDGs are essential as we go forward. Now, American values are also rooted in global leadership, and that serves the best interests of the international community. And these goals were founded in the United Nations, after all, a global body which we must support. And it is critically important that our nation continue to engage globally and constructively to solve the world's most urgent and pressing problems. The COVID-19 pandemic has proven without a doubt that solutions depend upon global cooperation, and our country's credibility in doing so depends upon the extent which we show the world just how well we can take care of those issues right here at home. So today's event will demonstrate that leadership goes beyond promises and commitments. It takes courage to act and the will to realize solutions for the good of us all. We are bringing back today some leaders from last year who will describe what they've done in the past 12 months to advance the SDGs. It's really an exciting and excellent program. We'll hear from Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti on how his city and his counterparts around the country and the world are taking ambitious steps to prepare a recovery from COVID that is both sustainable and extraordinarily important, inclusive. We'll also hear how the state of Hawaii and Carnegie Mellon University and the city of Pittsburgh or holding themselves accountable to the SDGs by publishing voluntary reviews, and how businesses like Verizon and Walmart are unleashing innovation to align business practices with the SDGs. The commitment to the SDGs shown here today is one that the Brookings Institution has truly taken to heart. And to that end, I am very proud to announce that we are readying for launch this fall our own Center for Sustainable Development. It will provide a nexus for our leading scholars in this realm, like Tony Pippa and his colleagues, to mobilize research, policy engagement, and networked leadership for sustainable development and accelerated progress on the goals within the United States, but also worldwide. Finally, this event takes to heart the commitment by Brookings and the United Nations Foundation to diversity. This panel reflects the richness of American society, and it is infinitely better because of it. It also raises the importance of listening to the next generation of voices that are actively shaping our future. And I am thus very pleased and honored to introduce Fatimata Cham, a published youth poet, activist, and Girl Up Teen Advisor alumna. So welcome, Fatimata. It is so wonderful to have you with us today. You honor us by your presence, and the floor is yours.